Bangkok ChitChat once again, and over the last few shows we've had guests in the studio and we've got some lined up, so keep an eye open for those. But Andrew and I found ourselves in the studio with no one, and we thought, well, we sort of don't ignore the subscribers to the show, but we often don't mention you because we've got the show to do, so there's never enough time, right? So we thought we'd dedicate this one to you subscribers, going to read out some of your comments, an overview of everything, and just a little bit of chit-chat, if that's okay with you guys.
All right, so let's
start off with, the last video we did was Colin Hastings from the Big Chili magazine, and the first comment from that was Pad London Kalam. If you're watching, thank you very much for commenting. And you say, congratulations, Colin, you've got an incredible life here in Bangkok.
Oh, it's true. Yes, he's since 1974. So.
I know. I mean, I don't think we go on about his age, but he's obviously not a young one, but he looks good.
Well, you did during the show.
Did I do that?
You nearly slapped your wrists.
Oh, no, that was in the beginning. That was a joke.
Yeah. As you get older, it becomes less of a joke.
True that. True that. Of course, you would know about that yet, being a young one.
That's right, exactly.
Anyway, thank you, Pad, for commenting. Thailand, the roads less travelled. That's a good handle. I think that's maybe a blog or something like that. Thank you for sharing. Andrew. Oh, thank you for sharing, Andrew. Interesting to hear.
You didn't share me. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you for sharing, Andrew. I didn't get a bit of Andrew.
There's lots of me. You can have a bit of me, but...
Thank you for sharing. Andrew, interesting to hear a Scotsman talking about the declining standards of the English language, smiley face. I watched it through to the end and thoroughly enjoyed it. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
so, do you know this guy?
Yes.
He's your brother or something?
Yeah. No.
Okay.
But the point about the Scots and the English language, there's some very, very famous Scottish writers. And also, I'd like to point out the clearest spoken English language is actually from the north of Scotland, because they sound their T's. They
Go on, give us a bit then. Go
on. I'm not from the north of Scotland.
So how do you know they do that?
Because if I said it, it doesn't really matter. This is basically.
So how do they say it?
Say what?
The T's and the. Can't you pretend to do that?
I tell the time.
Is that how they speak?
I got no idea.
That sounded a bit gay to me. All right, so you're saying that there's certain Scottish accents that are clearer than English?
English persons, yes. They say the clearest, I think it's the far northwest of Scotland. They enunciate their words clearer. There's a big word for you.
And spell it. Huh? Spell enunciate.
Enunciate.
A-N-N-O-U. Anyway, right, moving on.
Moving on. Yourself a hole there.
Thank you, Thailand, the roads less travelled. Anyway, great handle there. Here's another good handle. Hoodie what? Nice advice about the 11-minute mark. I don't know what that was. Mind, any criticisms, be it social media or online reviews of anything Thai. Another interesting stream, gentlemen. Take care. So, did you know this guy? I always think, are they family? They're so nice.
You know friends or something like that?
Well, I know I don't know. So, all right then. Anyway, thank you very much for commenting. Who do what? All right. Now we're looking at a video, Thai prisons and prisoner rehabilitation. Yeah, that was Gail. Yeah. I mean, and she's always welcome in our house here. She's a goodie. This is what is when it comes up on our comments, automated mailbox.
I think that's his handle.
Oh, trust me. Yeah, that makes sense.
Like we have headlined the names of the people.
He's not like a bot.
And this one's headlined as well and underlined and bolded.
He's not like a bot. I've just learned about bots.
No. Well, basically, he said the Brit she is referring to. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. What did he say? Go on. You read it.
Is it the ex-tourism police drug dealer from Rawai?
I remember Gail mentioning something about that, and she said, "I'm not going to mention the guy's name," but I can't remember what that was.
Legally, she wouldn't obviously, because you basically there's a judgment on it. And he's not going to mention the name, especially if he's ex-copper.
True that. Okay, all right. Johnny Siam.
So we don't know. Yeah.
Johnny Siam, hello. He's from that Talk Back Thailand Brigade.
That's right.
There's four of them. And they put out a show Saturdays and Sundays. And he just says, this was about the prisoners and rehabilitation and all that. Interesting topic, but still a minefield. Well, absolutely. I mean,
Spell F-E-I-L-D. But yeah, okay.
now we just lost a subscriber, probably. Have you read
I'm
some
allowed
of your?
to say that because of that comment about the Scotsman and they're like.
Have you read some of your text to me? And you're blaming this guy for selling.
Oh, that's different. I don't know about everybody else, but I hate this auto text.
Autocorrect.
Is it autocorrect? But
Yeah, yeah.
It's just terrible.
I mean, get me wrong, guy. I mean, if I'm wrong, say so in the comments, like these people. I can remember when Line and WhatsApp first came up. I know what corrective thing is, and that used to be like in emails and stuff. They'd give you options, and you could click. But only recently, and I say recently, maybe the last, I don't know, 4 years, 3 years, I don't know, that they've had this autocorrect that you can't have anything to do with it.
It's predictive
Yeah.
spelling, yeah.
Someone said you can take it off, and I tried to look.
You can.
Okay, show me at the end of the show.
I'll show
because
you
you
at the
know,
end
a lot, especially Thailand, when you're talking about, I don't know, udon souk
It's
or
for
something.
speed.
You put udon. Yeah, but I have a screen, a little screen under the big screen, giving me suggestions anyway, 3 of them, and I just click on them. But anyway, say you're saying something about udon tani, and you go, yeah, you write it, and you carry on with the thing, send it, and you go, it comes up, spick, knack, hop, no, it's something in English. It'll go under my clothes or something. It's predicted that because it doesn't understand Thai
well, you'll
words
see,
either.
it doesn't know the word, but it has on the bottom left, it'll have things in parentheses. And because it doesn't.
In what?
Dots.
Okay.
The things you want to just.
What was the word you used?
It's parentheses.
Good. I'm not going to ask you to spell it.
P-A-R-E-N-T-H-E-I-E.
There's a Y in there.
No.
Okay. All right. Well, very good. So anyway,
So someone's going to correct my spelling anyway.
yeah, yes.
I didn't see you taking a note of it to see.
No, I have changed a little bit of it because I didn't want to let the commentator down. Commentator, the guy commenting down. So I
Commenter, yeah.
So I thought if I left commentator.
Big tongue twister today.
Chang. Yeah. So all right. Anyway, Johnny Simon, thank you very much for that. That was great. Don't worry about the mind thing.
It's actually the field part.
Oh yeah. Do you know what? He spelled field. He's just done that thing that I do, change the E and I around. I was trying to look what is wrong with mine. And I didn't dare bring it up because, I am slightly dyslexic. So there we go. All right, he's back in the house again. Who do what? Right, who do what?
It's actually who do you want to?
No, it's not. That's something
That's
where
you.
it goes 2 weeks ago or something like that when the comment came up. I forgot to knock it off. I think.
All right.
Apologies if it isn't. Right. Since Caucasians don't often share the same sense of losing... this is on the rehabilitation. Since Caucasians don't often share the same sense of losing face or dishonouring family, leave it to the Thais to judge themselves. I'd be more concerned with violent offenders and sociopaths slipping through the cracks. This is when you're visiting them.
No, I think it's about the whole system. Let them deal with it. Of course, we can't turn around and tell them to do something anyway. We can still have an opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. All right.
So, yeah, and I think also within Thai society, as we can see at the moment, within the demonstrations.
Nice link.
Right. Yeah. Well, what it is there's actually a change in attitude and divide. I think.
Yeah.
Within Thailand, from the old to the young, different attitudes, and people feel more empowered because of social media. So, I mean.
Well,
Thais to judge themselves, yes, of course, but we're allowed an opinion, and we can never influence. And I wouldn't take sides either on the political side or anything.
No,
else.
we
It's
don't.
None of my business.
No, and we.
I can have an opinion, a private opinion.
But when you've got a channel, yes, you've got to be definitely like we talked to Colin Hastings. You do self-censor. But in a way, I don't think any press should take a side. Now, this is a discussion for another day. You get the Sun newspaper, that is definitely left-wing or whatever, and then the Daily Telegraph is right. I think that they're a newspaper. Why should they have a bias towards either side? They should give it out as it is.
Because, well, if they're reporting on something, yes, they give the facts the way it is. But if they're saying there's an opinion, of course they should.
All right. I mean... Well, then, but that's for the backer page, is an opinion piece. But, they put headlines up. No, headlines up, that can be misleading or for an agenda, suit their agenda, and that's what I don't like. An opinion piece is fine, because it's in my opinion piece.
Yeah.
But a headline
state the facts and let people come to their own opinion.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right. And just briefly talking about what's going on with the demonstrations, it looks like now they're going to be they're not going to be violent. There is not going to be a reaction to them.
Touch wood.
Oh yeah, I thought you were telling a cut. No, have I said something already? Yeah, but I do see a possible danger with the other side of this argument with the royalists, whether they start to group together, they start to march. If the two get together, that could be volatile in a sense. There could be violence, where the police and the military are not the ones instigating anything, but they're going to have to sort it out. Yeah. And that's my fear. That is my fear.
Yes,
and
I think that's everybody's fear.
Now I'll do it. Hope that doesn't happen.
Well, I mean, I think what everyone's trying to have is a voice, and let's just hope everybody can have that voice and they can sit down and they can discuss on how things should move forward. But there's always extremists on both sides, and that's the worry.
Well, your main concern over this was if the government wants to sit down and talk to the pro-democracy protesters, who are they going to talk to?
Yes, that's right.
And that is a question. I mean, there are MPs, Forward Future, and what's the new one? The Future
Forward.
That's disbanded, right?
Yes, they are disbanded.
And then there's a new group.
Well, there's a few groups, and this is the thing. There's a few groups.
Yeah. So the police. So
who they can speak to, and then people don't want to be seen as a leader because then it can be classed as lèse majesté. And I'm not talking about just the students. I'm talking about on both sides.
Yeah.
There has to be a mediator.
Like
the government.
Mediator. Yeah.
And I'll give him his due. The Prime Minister did remove the severe emergency as he promised.
Yeah, but he's not giving bail to people. But
that comes down to the judicial system as well. Yeah.
Well,
but hey, listen, we don't take sides.
No.
What I'd like to say a peaceful resolution.
Yeah.
But the point is that things do move forward. In any.
I just think they're going to move a little.
I mean, look at UK. Disgusting. Giving the politicians a pay rise for people losing their jobs. I mean, I don't know who the PR guy is in the UK, but basically, what you could have in the world over is people say, I don't trust governments.
Well, I've never done for politicians.
I'm talking about UK, I'm not talking about Thailand.
I'm talking about any politician. I'd never trust a politician.
This is very sad because they're supposed to represent you.
I know. Well, there's the joke.
Yeah, well,
I've been waiting for my road to be tarmacked by my local, whoever he is. Not that I can vote, but my wife voted for him.
You're talking about Thailand. I'm talking about UK.
Well, I don't care about UK. Then let them get on with it. I tell you, talking about the UK, no, I don't. I don't live there, don't care. UK, I do feel sorry for the people that are going through this second spike. I really do. You imagine they're like, I was joking about I don't care about the UK, but we're Thai-based here. Well, we're Thai-based. Our discussions are Thailand. So here's the thing. When this first started, it was a new thing. It was, oh my God, finally taking restrictions. Everyone did it. And and they were like, after a week or two, it was new. And they thought, well, this is going to be over soon. So we'll just hunker down 1 month, 2 months. But, now they're beginning to relax the restrictions and all that. And suddenly they're back into where they were in the beginning. Yeah. That is a double whammy that I know from speaking to people in the UK. It's hard for them to get round mentally. Because Manchester is a total lockdown again.
Right.
Just like it, you look at the spikes. The first spike is like here in England, and then it went down. Now it's up. It's higher than it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
27 new cases a day.
I think the part of the reason they say is the people become complacent, and of course it's spreading, and it's taking a foothold. And the second time, it goes higher.
Well, also once again, it's that balance between keeping the economy going towards death, which in Thailand is, they have sort of said, and tourism in Thailand is the major import or export.
With all the spin-offs, it's probably 20% of the economy. Yeah.
Well, all right.
That's a big chunk. It means a lot of people. It's highly intensive.
I mean, it's going to hurt.
Labour.
Yeah. So,
without a doubt.
but they have,
There's also the sentiment, the general sentiment within business is, oh, this is happening. Let's cut cost here, which means, like even within my business, we're doing video and social media marketing and all this kind of thing. People are a little bit careful on that budget.
Yeah.
So it's a spin-off effect.
Well,
the general sentiment is very pretty poor.
The point I was making is take the
People
UK. Yeah, take the UK and Thailand. Thailand has said we'll suffer because we don't want a second spike. They hardly got a first spike. I know people saying, well, you're not testing enough. The hospitals are not busy.
They are busy now in the UK.
No, Thailand. They're saying the Thailand, you're low because I said that they're worried about a second spike. Well, we didn't have a first one to have a second one on. Really,
you're going to prove that point by having a second one?
No, my point is that people are saying that Thailand are not testing enough, and that's the reason why our figures are low. But I've been told by doctors, hospitals are not busy. So, you go to the hospitals in the UK, they're busy. You go to Italy, you go to Russia, they're busy. Ours are not. So if the people have got it, then they're staying at home and keeping under restrictions because they don't feel well. If they're dying, the mortality rate this year of Thailand is the same as it was last year. So people aren't dying. So all right, we don't maybe testing so much, but I think they're testing at the moment like 5,000 out of 1 million people. It's not a lot, is it? If you say 50 million people live here. That's the figures I saw for July.
Over 60 million here, nearly 70.
All right, 60 million. I say 60 million. Yeah, registered. But whatever. If you're taking just that amount, 5,000 out per million, it's not a lot, is it? 60 times 5.
Yeah.
It's not a lot compared with other countries. But surely, if it was rampant here, the hospitals would be busy, and the mortality rate would be up, which they're not. So, but hey, about my UK, I don't care about. I've got my family over there. I've got to be careful. I do love the UK. It's just that this show is more Thai.
That was
concentrated.
called a cover your arse statement.
Well, yeah. I want my Christmas present.
That's probably the first time I've sworn on this show.
Did you swear then?
It was arse, that's a bad word.
Oh, my goodness. No. Words like shit are.
Okay.
Right, so let's move on. All right, we covered everything we wanted to say about that. We've done the protest on COVID. Great. Should Thai prisons be a tourist attraction as proposed? That was one of our videos that we did.
That was with Gail. Part one.
Oh yeah, and they're saying, when they come into court, they have the chains around their ankles and everything else, and I found that really archaic. And you came up with that classic ball and chain. One of your real classics. Do you remember that? Got shot down by me and Gail. Yes, in the medieval times they used to do that. Anyway, automatic mailbox is back again. It says, they hold it up so that they can hobble. Interesting watching them come in and out of court. People really know.
Yeah, they have a string. They have a string to hold it up.
Yes, right.
But I think they're obviously manacled as well.
They're manacled. They got a chain around their waist, connected to chains around their ankles.
Don't they have the same thing in the US? They have the same thing in the US.
What?
Oh
yeah, in the orange jumpsuits. Yeah. It's just real degradation to the guy. But then again, he's maybe a criminal.
But no, he's got a court. He's not a criminal yet.
Well, in Thailand, the other way. Guilty until proven innocent. But in America, it seems to be, true. Oh, absolutely. And they can stay in these places without going to court, like in Rikers or something like that, for months.
Well, same here. That's why.
Well, yeah, but I say here, you're guilty until proven innocent. So, in other words, you'll go to prison, and then you can go to court, and maybe you're not. But in America, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. So you are innocent, and you're staying 6 months in Rikers. I suppose that
also makes sense. Well, not sense, but because of bail. Yeah, but you've got to have money to pay the bail.
Yep, I know a bondsman in America. Interesting story. Yeah, I want to try and get him on. Yeah, I haven't mentioned this to you. No. Bail bondsman. Yeah, and he's taught me how it all works and everything else. He used to live here. He used to be on a radio show with me. He went back to America and he took up his old trade. Yeah, out of the 10% of the thing. And he says, when they put the money up, you've got to do all that due diligence to make sure they're worth the money. That's where the hard work is. Has he got a house? Has he got a car? Has he got money in the bank? And if they got all those, otherwise the bail bondsman won't bail him out.
Right.
And then they, I think it's 10% the bail bondsman keeps out of the whole thing. So if it's 100,000, you bail someone out, you get 10,000 baht, and you give the 90 back. Something like that. I might be wrong now, those figures are old, but anyway, interesting
Interesting
yeah,
topic, for
job,
sure.
yeah. Except it's not, yeah.
Actually, if you notice your insurance, your car insurance, they have a section in there to cover you for bail.
No.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
So, like, you're in a road accident, it's your fault, you get hauled off by the police, they'll insure that your bail.
Yeah.
They'll put up the collateral or
Yeah.
whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay.
As long as it's not criminal,
Yeah.
I would expect.
Yeah.
But everything else would be exceptions,
Yeah.
exceptions, exceptions, exceptions. Yeah.
Don't get me wrong with this bail bondsman. He wasn't a bounty hunter, which is an interesting side of things, because some people skip and then the bail bondsman's stuck because they've run off. He's put the money up, which he can't get back. That's the law of
Yeah, but then
bailing.
good collateral.
No. Well, hopefully, yes, but sometimes it goes tits up, and he hasn't, and he's run off. The guy's put up 100,000, the bail bondsman's put up 100,000 because he thinks he can get it back, but the guy just skips, finds out the accounts aren't right, can't get any money back.
Oh, well, hasn't done his due diligence.
Well, I know, but it can be a bit sketchy, mate. I think so.
Anyway,
and then moving on, Joe P. Hello, all new. I'm a new subscriber. See, I'm editing as I go along. I'm a new subscriber. I've seen you on Bangkok Strange. Hope to see you together soon. Joe P. Thank you very much, mate. Yes, I was on there on the chat board thing, and thank you. Yes, and they're good people. I'm going to be meeting up with them in the future at some point when we can get our schedules together. Right. David Peters. Hello, David. Thank you very much for commenting. Great. Oh, is this still about the... this is tourist attraction. Yeah. Yeah, great idea. They could put a stage up in the exercise yard and do reenactments. You're sarcastic. While the arresting officers could pose with pointed fingers to the cameras. In reality, it might cut down the overcrowding if nothing else. Good one. Guy's sense of humour. I love that. All right, moving on. Oh, he's back in the house. Who do what? If places of natural beauty and temples are struggling to attract a few tourists about, what makes people think prison tours would be popular?
Because people are morbid.
This is what I say.
People are morbid. People like the difference.
They're not even worth
a few.
thinking about.
No.
I think that would be a very small niche market. Absolutely, not worth the return on investment of government dollars.
But, I disagree, obviously, because
Well, you did on
I did in the show. Yeah,
Yeah, but I think actually in the end you submitted and saying
No.
yes, Andy, you're right.
No, I didn't.
No, I think
no, I
you
did
did.
not. I think you've been having one of your dreams. Yeah, I think it's not just the money they're putting in; it's the fact there's a rehabilitation there. It's not making them as being monkeys in a jail, in a cage. It's preparing them to go back into society, and that's where the biggest failure is.
Well, go and take a look at the video because I really put a strong case for why it shouldn't, and he sort of does a half-assed case and loses.
And Gail was in agreement.
No, she was in agreement with me. Everyone was, even the cameraman. Okay, this is top 6 improvements for Pattaya. We were looking at police, the beaches, and also attractions. And Andrew Mack, who I have to say, when he comments, he goes right into it. He
very
puts
thorough, very good.
research and everything. And he's done loads, but we'll just take one example here. So Andrew Mack, responding to that video, says, it's very difficult to stop the minor corruption in the police force because every young officer, this is about the beaches, I think, can see a senior officer having property and a lifestyle that is far better than their police salary could support. You can look all the way up the chain of command and the question marks are all the way to the top. Maybe giving them a better salary would help, but there are many in Thailand that have the big man mentality where laws don't apply to them. And he goes on and on about that, which and says more. Have a look at the comments that are below the video from Mr. Andrew Mack. Thank you very much. We read it all. It just didn't want to go into too much detail on this show. Keep them coming. That's what I say.
Yeah, and he's very, very good points. I mean, we were talking about putting officers on the beat.
Oh yeah.
And also
That's one of your ideas.
Yeah, and also when they say corruption, I'm not sure whether paying more makes a difference because I think what I understand is that there's 2 pay packets. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean they did do that. And I think going back to the UK, I remember that the police, the firemen, and the nurses, which still today are, were low salary income, and there was corruption, and there was a sort of a big pay increase to their salaries to try and dissuade them from taking any money under the table.
Yeah, but if your boss is saying this is what you will do, it's like I was speaking to someone about who's ex-army, British Army, and we were talking about the demonstrations. Yeah? And I said to him, I said, because it's kids out there, would they shoot Because they may say, listen, that could be my cousin, this could be this, could be that. Would they shoot? Would they say, listen, I'm just not doing that, boss? Yeah. And he said, there's not a chance.
No.
They will follow, even if they think it's wrong, they will follow to the letter
of command.
of the instruction.
Yeah. And that's what happened in 1973.
So this comes back to this. If your boss turns around and says, listen, this is what you will do, this is the structure, we've been doing it for the past 50 years, you don't buck it. If you don't like it, get out. Yeah. Resign, lose your pension, lose this, lose that. Because the government pensions are actually pretty good. You get yes,
in Thailand.
Yes, yeah, they are pretty good. I'm not saying compared to the UK, but I mean they're livable, certainly livable.
Are they?
Yes.
Because my wife's just about to retire.
But she doesn't work for a 100% government institution.
100%.
Right. So police is.
Damn.
And like army have their pensions.
Yeah. My father-in-law was admiral in the Navy.
Right.
He got a full pension,
right.
which wasn't bad. I don't know how much it was, but.
So I don't know. I think it's great points you've made, but I just wonder how the hell can they sort this out? Yeah? Everyone knows about it, but or should we sort it out and change it from within in the structure or whatever?
Well,
I don't know.
I think things have to be organic, from inside go out as opposed to outside go in. But
okay.
Who am I to say that? You're probably. Oh, you agree. Right. I'd like to say hello to Paddy Pipkin. Thank you for all your comments. I haven't got time to read them all out, but David Peters, he says here, good idea, guys. I'm staying put for a while. I think that was the foreigner in COVID returns, Kay.
Right. Okay.
And she went through the procedure of being in a foreign country to come here, and he's just. I think if I got you right there, David. Excuse me if I haven't, but good idea, guys. I'm staying put for a while. I think that's what I said, something like that. Speaking of which. It's gone totally out of my mind. I have family in England and saying, "God, I see you're doing lessening the restrictions in Thailand and bubbles and stuff." And I have someone in America saying the same thing. I said, "Yes, guys, we're opening, but your country of source won't let you go, and that's it. You have to get your figures down." It's not. Although I don't think we would accept anybody from the UK. Do you? Well, I guess repatriation. They're all the ones every weekday getting. Positives.
Yeah,
right?
That's right. So you have hundreds of people coming in, and that's why you've got. Oh, there must be about 50 or 60 hotels in this AS. I think it's ASQ.
Yeah, it's called ASQ. Yeah.
And so there's lots of people coming back in. And they're jumping through all the hoops. On the categories that are allowed to come in. So there's Brits. So there've been people caught with it.
I mean, I think
and I think this is good. I think Thailand is correct to manage this, and I think they've managed it very well so far, and I think that's why some people who are retired want to come back here because there's less risk for them. But then the Thai turns around and says, "Well, wait a minute, you're not Thai, and you're bringing risk to us."
You're still those 5 special visas.
Again,
right?
it's
those 5 visas, right? Let's not go through them, boy. We've done it on other shows, but So say I was a rich man in England, like rich, didn't have to worry about money, didn't have to worry, loved Thailand to death. Wrong. Love Thailand, really love Thailand. Could I come over here and say, look, I'm putting 1 million baht in which visa could I get?
Thai Elite.
Is that Thai Elite, right? And that gives you the coverage and insurance and everything.
Investment. You still have to go through the quarantine stuff.
Yeah, but I'm going to stay here for the next 9 months. I've got plenty of money, 2 weeks in a hotel. Who cares? Worth it.
So basically, what you're saying is, does money talk? Yes, it does.
Yeah. How do you pronounce that? Clyon? Cylon 501? Anyway, he's had some experiences and he shared them with us on that video about him and his wife coming over and what he had to do to go through the quarantine, which is more or less what Kay was saying. So thank you very much. Right.
I thought that was a fan. Basically, we did, if you haven't seen it.
Yeah, 5 parts, right?
Yeah, it's a 5-part series of a Thai coming in, and then we also compared that against a foreigner coming in.
Woo!
Right?
What did you? Because that's going to be the next link. Great, love it. Come on, move on.
So, and it was very interesting in the different approaches and how people dealt with their mental state during these days.
Right, I do love this handle. This is the best probably handle from our subscribers. Yampla Duck Fu. Now he always writes very good comments, and these are great. These are 3 comments that he's written after one of our videos. Says, "Hello guys, great segment and very informative. However, seriously using the term farang?" Another comment, "Farang" in capitals. And the third one was, "Call us foreigners, please." Now, personally, I think foreigners is worse than farang. I have no problem using the word farang.
Well, farang has a slightly derogatory meaning to it.
Meaning alien, which is a word I won't use.
Well, alien, I think is. I hate that. I hate that totally. Foreigner, I think is fine. Yeah, because you're a foreigner. You're not a citizen.
And farang is just a Thai word. Maybe doesn't like it because we're not Thais and we're using a Thai word, whereas being native English, we should use foreigner. Maybe. Good point. Maybe.
Yeah, okay. Might just like calling me a jock. I don't care.
Yeah. Or who said, I've mentioned his name now, I think it's farang, Yank. Do Americans mind being called Yanks?
But we were told what Yankee actually meant, wasn't it?
Not me.
Yeah,
it's one of your pub chats you've had.
Oh, really? Okay. But I can't remember what it was, but there's a specific definition of, you say, Yankee.
Yeah.
It was something to do with New York. Whoever's American, come back, because I've forgotten the definition, but Yankee was actually more of where you came from, Yankee. Okay. I'll have to find it. It's annoying. Why did I bring it up?
I don't know. While it's on my mind, and our editor, producer, cameraman's here, I mentioned the guy's real name there. Can we bleep that out? Because he comes under a handle, so I called him.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter. You won't hear what I'm doing. So I've just done some directions live on camera. Right. Okay, who else? This is from Cylon 501. But my wife and I just got out of quarantine in Bangkok 10 days ago. We had a choice of Thai or farang food every day. On day 5, we were given a COVID swab test, and after the test came back negative, we could arrange for room cleaning and supervised walk outside while the room was clean. Yeah, this is going back to...
Yeah, but what I'm interested, he said the cost of our stay was 3,000 USD, $3,000, which is basically about 90,000 baht. Now,
far above the 50,000 that we were all quoted.
But you can choose different types of hotels. There's different hotels.
I mean,
different prices.
Colin was saying that he had someone he knew, we'll leave it like that, staying at one of these COVID hotels. I don't want to call it a COVID hotel, but quarantine hotel.
I wonder if COVID will become a swear word.
COVID, yeah. Especially with a Scottish accent. Sounds really good. COVID. COVID.
But I mean, you think about your food. Like, how much would you say, let's say a 4-star hotel would cost you a night? Guess.
Old days, right? Old days.
Yeah, you're a tourist.
Yeah. In season, 2.5.
253, yeah. Right? You're there for, let's see, so that's 2.5, 3,000, 30,000, yeah? And then you've got all your food included and the tests, right? I don't think that is exorbitant.
Well, it's not. It depends how good the food is.
It's 15 days. I think it's 14 nights.
Depends how good the food is. I think that's a lot. I mean, I wouldn't want to pay that.
And they've got the risk and the... So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but I don't think they've been... ripping off compared to you go to a hospital and you go and get a checkup and you put in a bed and you charge 7,000 baht a night.
Oh no, absolutely,
So this is.
But I was just going by,
and this is with choice. $170. You don't. Yeah.
$175 for a COVID test when you're staying at one of these places. It's a lot of money. How much
it's a lot
is
of
that
money,
in real
but
money?
Hey guys, you don't like to pay it, don't come.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Thank you very much, a new subscriber. I've lost his name. Interesting chit-chat that I look forward to. Oh, Ali Taylor, expat, life in Chiang Mai. He's a vlogger or vloggers, so I guess he's got a channel as well. So Ali Taylor, thank you very much for commenting. Simo's World, finally. Interesting chit-chat about Hua Hin. I've always liked Hua Hin ever since the first visit there about 20 years back. I was due to stay at the Centara next month. However, I think this was probably in September or even August next month. No chance of entering Thailand from the UK now. Whilst things in the UK are reopening, now closing again, due to economic pressures really, many are expecting a second wave, which has come in, he said, September and October. So he obviously wrote that back in July or August. So everything you've said, mate, is coming true.
Right, we also had Al Tate, and he says, when am I getting on the show?
Oh yeah, I forgot him.
Al,
Yeah.
you get something really interesting to tell us.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come on the show.
Al Tate, message us with what you'd like to talk about, and we'll get in touch with you. How about that? Deal? Right, so that's about it. I mean, we'd like to give a big thank you to all our subscribers. We don't go on too much, but you do share time with us. You spend time watching what we do. We try and do the best we can, try and give you the best content. It's not always easy, but we try to do the best, and we are very grateful for you to subscribing to our channel. If you can tell your friends, that's even better, because that can we can grow our base.
Well, on the basis of that, we've got some shows coming up.
Do you want to talk about them quickly?
Yeah, I think just quickly, we've got one coming up to do with, well, you say it.
Yeah, don't say what's about. Secret societies in Thailand.
So we're interviewing someone about that who's actively involved.
In one of the secret societies?
In one of the societies.
If it is a secret society. It's like him or her.
And then we've got someone who's going to be explaining about what's happening within the entertainment industry.
Yeah, mainly in the bar scene from the Wish Group. So that's all we're going to say, but we'll hopefully get some in-depth information on how it runs and how they're doing, and during COVID, how that's hit them and other bars, and something that we don't always know much about. We go to them. Well, some people go to them, and we don't know how they run or how they came about. Are they profitable? And
what's happening just now with them and the effect, and how the kick-on effect to the people that work in these places. What are they doing? How are they surviving?
Correct.
How they've been supported?
And then, another one.
Then we've got another one, which is there's no point in going to months. Yeah, but we've got another one with Bruce Hancock, who I saw at the weekend because I went down to Hua Hin. And what we were saying before in the show, yes, it is pretty quiet.
Well, what's he going to talk
fantastic. About? But anyway, Bruce is going to be talking about how to handle depression and things like that. And I think it's hey, listen, a lot of people, it's not just people that have been affected by this, it's how it affects their kids, their grandparents, their parents, all that stuff, and how people can manage that. There was quickly, because I know we're pushed for time now, going back to the demonstrations here in Thailand, there was a very good article about families dividing, where you've got the grandparents and parents on one side, and then the younger side of the family on the pro-democracy side, and they are, some of them, pretty serious family splits. But that's not depression.
No, I've just said, before we finish, I'd like to just go back to, listen to what I say.
White noise. Yeah.
All right, so, well, yeah, that is depression anyway. It's not exactly enlightening stuff, is it? It depressed me if I couldn't speak to my mother because she didn't agree with my politics.
So maybe we should have something on conflict management.
Yeah, I think the show needs it. All right, then, thank you very much for joining us. That was a good little fill-in there, as we like to give you something every week. And look forward to joining you with us on our next ones.
Oh, and just one more thing, because you always say, is there anything else you'd like to say, Andrew? Is if you get any particular ideas or certain topics you'd like to address, that's fine. There's obvious topics, if you watch our interview with Colin Hastings, that we cannot cover, and that's pretty much common sense. But give us some of the ideas, because it helps us in our way. We're certainly not running out of ideas, but I think...
No.
Well, I'm not.
Well, let's get some of them.
Anyway, thank you very much for supporting us.
If thank you to our subscribers. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, tell your friends, like and share, all that stuff that goes with YouTube channels.
All right, I think we're waffling now. I think we'll just say, see you later. Thanks very much. Bye.
Don't forget Facebook. Bye.
Bye.